I'll jump right into that bitch. We good? Alright. Listen, we here, Standout Podcast, episode, or season 2. And I'm here with a new up-and-comer in the scene. Somebody that's definitely caught my algorithm and somebody that's catching a lot of algorithms and catching a lot of eyes out here. Got the boy ATM MAX in the building. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man.
You know,
I'm really excited about these 2 albums I just dropped.
Hell
I got
yeah.
End of Nights. I got Touchin, Heartbreaks.
Touchin, Heartbreaks, yes sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Listening to both those albums, before the interview came on and stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like you have a duality type of thing where you're able to tap into 2 different baddies at one time.
Yeah.
End of Nights to me was interesting because of ATM Josh's production.
Right.
It sounded like you guys were very cohesive. It sounded like you could be more open with him. Talk about that, the creation of that, and where you were at during that.
All right. So I met Josh at FedEx actually. So I was working at FedEx.
Oh, cool.
I was smoking a spliff, and then he asked for like a hit of the spliff.
Right.
So I'm not gonna give you a hit of the spliff unless I know a little something about you.
Right.
So he said that he was a producer. So I was like, all right, you can hit the spliff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he said, you know what I'm saying? I got a studio in the basement. My dad's a DJ. I'm like, Cap, you know what I'm saying? What a white dude from the States, Cap. It's not happening. Cap, Watertown Cap. I'm going to get robbed or something.
Right.
But I just took a leap of faith and went over there. You know what I'm saying? It was a drive and stuff. But when I got there, we just made like 2-3 songs that night. Right. And I told him, I said, yo, if you let me come back here, I'll bring my artists over here. You know what I'm saying? We could get it popping for you and we could really make something big.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. He let me come over there and record not only just that album, but Drugs and Heartbreaks as well.
Right.
And that was the story on that.
That's a crazy story.
Yeah.
And just talk to me a little bit about that too. Your artists seem like they put in a lot of pain. They've been putting in a lot of work themselves.
Yeah.
You guys really are hustling at a different rate. So talk about just being able to be open in communication and even making that connection with Josh and just making the connection of all your artists and making sure y'all working every day.
I just, with everybody that I meet, respect is first.
Right.
But I'm very serious about the music.
Right.
I've always been making music since I was like 16, but I wasn't always good at it. So now that I have belief in myself and others that believe in me, I feel like I could do that and uplift others and show them how to rap and show them, all right, this is what's going to make a good song and this is what's going to make a hit. This is really what's not, because it's what worked for me.
Right.
I used to record myself on GarageBand and just, that little pitch correction shit. That's just not the way to do it, though. You know what I'm saying? You really do need the production side of it. I would say that was one of my best work was working with Josh, because he had these awesome presets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was just ready to go. His talent and understanding of music. He makes music too, but he doesn't really drop it and stuff. He's just kind of fucking around with it and stuff like that.
I feel it. Yeah. Being able to record yourself too is a lost art in this game. You probably hear a lot more than the average artist and do a lot more. So in terms of your introduction to recording yourself and the introduction to music, what inspired you to kind of stray away from the bigger studios at first and kind of want to hone your craft?
Just really, I'm not even gonna lie. If you an upcoming artist and you young, you don't have the funds for it. So what happened was, I asked my mom's friend. I said, hey, listen, I got this dream. If you could make it happen for me at my house, I could try to make these songs. So I was like 16. I got $1,200, and now I'm putting the studio together. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And now I'm making the songs on SoundCloud, dropping them. But they're not that good. But they still, some of them are catching. You know what I'm saying? One of them caught the attention of, I forget who, DJ Academics.
Shout out DJ Academics, yes sir.
I was on his live and stuff, and
okay.
everybody just dropping fire emojis and stuff like that. But that was back then. Right. If DJ Academics see this right now, man,
get them back on the stream.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Back on the stream, man.
But just talk about that too, because I remember when No Jumper picked up my song "What You Mean Though," and that was a big moment for me coming from Connecticut.
Yeah.
You being from here and having kind of a limited space onto where to get support. What does that mean to get that out of town support at first and see those type of things and see that reaction to your music?
I feel like, anytime I get recognition, it's just you know what I'm saying, it just makes it that much bigger, because, there's a other bitter side where people be trying to keep us locked down and try to keep us to go to jail. And that's another reason why it took so long for me to come back into the music game, because, all my music got shut down at one point. I got hit with infringement. I spent $500 working with this girl artist. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm not gonna do it like that. She was my artist, but she wanted to go with a Christian route. So she said, take the song down, or so I kept putting the songs up because the song's fire. I'm gonna show you it later. I'm gonna send it to you later.
I got you.
Song fire, but you can't put it out because every time I do that, they taking down the music. You know what I'm saying? So I just said, fuck the song. You know what I'm saying? I was mad as hell because $500.
Right.
She's like, oh, I'm thinking she knows what she's talking about. She's like, oh, let's go to this. I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll pay for it. It was $100 an hour. We had to get 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? We did that twice.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So
I've been there, bro. I remember my first song, What You Mean, that's the song that actually took off.
yeah.
Mine was the producer, but he had a free beat camp in which I took it from. And I remember it ended up going to Joel Ortiz, the beat.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting caught with a $1,000 copyright fee.
Oh.
And I didn't even know what the fuck that was.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we don't know the industry of the music because we're just trying to get music out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's the other thing about it. You know, having other artists around you and kind of trying to be the guy that kind of tells somebody, hey, do this or hey, do that. Does that get hard too because you're trying to focus on your career while trying to help others out?
Sometimes it gets in the way, but most of the time I'm just happy to help them and be a part of it because I know the bigger picture of it. Like if one of us makes it, like I got one artist, Emil. He's talented. He's getting like 47K every time he drops. So and this is because we working with he's been working in house with the same producer for a long time. Years, so now he's got his sound and the fans. So. And just really working on monetizing, marketing, and knowing your audience. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm so versatile, as you can see with the 2 albums. I like to go into the little lyrical flows, but also break it down and go into the singing pockets because.
And that's why I was gonna tell you. You know, it's hard for some people, right? We have the benefit of auto-tune in this generation, right? Where it helps us, but it's hard to find a melody within a pocket, to find melodies within different type of synths, pianos, all that. It seems like you got that down. Were you singing from jump, or is that something you developed over time within the studio on how to find certain things like that?
So everything that I put out ever is never written. It's always a freestyle, just going. And really, I'm not even gonna lie. When it's saying drugs and heartbreaks, it's really drugs and heartbreaks. Like it's a lot of weed, e-pills that goes into this music. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of late nights in the trap. You know what I'm saying? And none of this shit is cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not to brag or boast. It's just my life, and I got to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like true story was a true story. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be caught without it. I ain't trying. You know what I'm saying? I see my mom. You know what I'm saying? Go out like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, and doing that type of music, you know, listening to your album, it sounds like it's very much from the heart. Does that sometime when you're in the creation of those albums, does that get heavy knowing it's your real life and having to kind of show it? If you're in the studio, even with a producer, I feel like sometimes unveiling those parts of yourself are hard as an artist. You know, does that ever get hard to do, like, and have to tell these people, listen, I've been through this and this is what this song is about and I've been through that, you got to bear with me and, you know.
Nah, I think what's harder is like if I'm in a room and I don't feel the vibes from everybody. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in the studio and I feel like somebody just looking on their phone and not bumping how I think, I kick them out the studio. You know what I'm saying? You got to go. You know what I'm saying? But I also don't like my studios loud and crowded either. You know what I'm saying? Or people doing stuff that, because like, you know what I'm saying, with Josh too, I feel like my boy was sitting there like just doing coke. Like nobody told him to do that. But you scaring Josh because Josh is 18. He not, you know what I'm saying?
He's not new to
he from the,
life.
you know what I'm saying, suburbs. So we not, you know, I'm trying to scare, you know what I'm saying? So learning that part and stuff like that and trying to like, you know what I'm saying, you don't need everybody to come to everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why I only brought one person over here. Because you know what I'm saying, we don't need everybody all the time. You know what I'm saying?
You know, a lot of times it is that mantra of like everybody can't go. You know what I mean? But in terms of that too, hearing the drugs and heartbreaks, end of nights, it does have to do with a lot of drug content and a lot of you guys dealing with that. Do you feel like sometimes those suppressants and things like that help you with the music, or do they hinder the music in some type of way?
Nah, I feel like 100% they help me with the music because it's speeding it up and it's making it so, like, honestly, if you listen to 99% of the artists that you probably like Young Thug, Chris Brown. Chris Brown and Young Thug, I think they, if I'm not mistaken, they made that whole album, that whole album off the E-Pills.
Off E-Pills, yes, sir.
Or Chris Brown be doing the coke. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't really be fucking with that. I don't like to play with my nose and that. But I will pop E-Pill, though. I ain't gonna lie again. You know what I'm saying? We got those.
Yeah,
we got everything.
I got
ATM, let me tell you what ATM stand for real quick.
Go ahead.
Tell the
I was
fans.
just about to ask you. Go ahead.
ATM stand for always touching money, you know what I'm saying? So everybody really could be ATM. It's just, you know what I'm saying? But ATM, the label, that's like the artists and stuff like that.
Right.
ATM is like really just, if you get into it and you get into the bag, then you ATM. So it's a movement, you know what I'm saying?
Speak about that too, because always touching money, that moniker is not only great, but it also speaks to the people that you got to put around you. I think a lot of times in the music industry, you end up sometimes collecting a lot of flunkies and people that can be like, yeah, we about this, but they not really about it. So talk to that and how you are able to pick the right ones and be like, nah, this dude is about his business.
You know, I think I picked them off of like, are you going to be creative or are you just going to be like one dimensional? You know what I'm saying? Right. And we have artists that are just one dimensional, just straight rap, but I don't really push them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? My artist, Playground, I think is because he keeps switching. It was Where's Wild at first. He's hard and he's only 16, 17, but his music demographic is, you know what I'm saying, not only just the streets but the suburbs too. You need to always include everybody because it's not just going to be one person coming to your show. It's going to be everybody coming to your show.
I think that's the biggest misconception about rap too, which people don't understand is that when you go to a 50 Cent concert, I went to the 50 Cent concert recently. It's all old white women. Right. You know what I mean? It's not us. You feel me? It's them. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones paying for it. And speak to that too. You know, having to be around artists that have their own styles and steeds, like. How are you, because you are probably behind the scenes playing A&R, you're playing manager, all that different type of stuff. Yeah. How do you tell somebody that this sounds good for them knowing they want something else?
I show them my music and people respect is respect, so I'm not going to come at them and say, hey, you're trash, but I will say, listen, if you really want to go down this road, look at like, you know what I'm saying, the streams up right here and now look at right here. I always show people that. Yeah. I go, look at Rich the Kid and now look at Jay Critch. Right. The streams is crazy, right? Crazy different, right?
Yeah, too different.
And this is why, you know. And then you got a case like this. You got a Gunna case, and then you got a Young Thug. Right. You know what I'm saying? But they matching each other's sound. They both eating. Because why? Because one sound's working and one sound's not. In one dimensional sound. We can only listen to Killing for so long. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But we could always listen about getting some money. Right. You know what I'm saying? Switching the topics is always like, it's just top notch. So you always got to switch it up. And you really just got to stay creative. Right. And I always push that with my artists. And you can sing too. If you sing, that's even better. Look at Lil Tucker. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Being melodic and stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you just want to be one dimensional, hard, that's cool too. Because we got a bunch of artists like that.
Let me ask you this, you know, being somebody that's able to hear music, be around artists, help artists out, what's one genre of artists you haven't worked with yet that you would like to work with that you haven't been around?
That's a good question. One genre of music.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe somebody that's like a rock star type. Like how Lil Uzi did the Pink State, but I don't really like when he was doing them rock star songs.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? But I did do a throwaway song that was like a country record. I don't know if you caught that.
I caught a little bit.
It was crazy. I just was just fucking around, man. I don't know if you heard it. It was like a parody song. I wanted to call it a parody, but I'm not gonna lie. Love my white fans. Shout out to my white supporters. Right. They fell in love with it. So my mom liked country music.
You out of here.
My mom white. You know what I'm saying? I'm black, I'm white. You know what I'm saying? I was born in Atlanta, so she would cry and stuff, and I'm like, yo, this is supposed to be like a funny song and stuff. What is you crying about? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy though.
Man,
that shit is crazy.
That's wild. You know what I was telling him the other day. I said, man. Like, I remember the days of, like, Linkin Park and, like, Run DMC where they crossed over the rock. And I think that's, like, the lost art. Like, I think the problem is rap has become so popularized that we forget that there's other genres within music. You know what I mean? And people don't want to stay in their own lane. You know what I mean? Like, and stuff like that. But in terms of these two albums, too, man, you know, 10 tracks on both of them, 10 and 12, I think one of them...
I think it was 10 and 10.
10 and 10? Okay, 10 and 10, so I had it right.
Yeah.
You know... There's one song in both of those where I feel like it's the changer, and I don't know if you did this on purpose. It's called "Can't Feel My Face."
That is that's a song of my artist. So
right.
Yeah, I think it's on both albums, but it wasn't intentional.
It wasn't intentional. Okay.
I was really supposed to be one big album, all of them on once, but I decided to chop it up because I wanted to show the fans. I switched my name, by the way. It was Young Knight, and that was the whole reason for End of Nights.
Right.
And then I also wanted to show them like, well, what y'all think about this like rage music sound that we, you know what I'm saying, that I've been trying to work on since, you know what I'm saying, we've been working with auto-tune forever. But I ultimately found that like people really like the records where it's no auto-tune.
Right.
Weirdly enough. And those are the boringest songs in the world to me, like Change My Ways. I didn't want to drop it at all.
But you know, with that song too, you're changing in flow. I feel like sometimes with autotune, it's hard to change flow. Do you get that a lot of times where you can't shapeshift? Like I feel like with your regular voice, you can shapeshift a lot.
Right. Yeah.
With autotune, I feel like you got to stay in one pocket.
You got to stay in one. Well, it depends. Like if you have a really good engineer and stuff, the autotune's gonna sound great. If I'm high, if I'm low. One of my favorite tracks of Drugs and Heartbreaks is definitely like Cuckoo. That shit. That's the first record.
That one right there is a banger.
You know, if I'll be driving and I just be like blasting that shit the whole way. And what's it? Common Sense. That's just like a real record. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
when ATM Jazz is working on these records though, is there an emphasis on bass? Because I feel like the bass in your songs are they fluctuate, but there's always like one that's gonna catch you in your eardrum. Like I caught one. I forget what song it was. It went through one ear and then the other. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker's really focusing on the production of this shit.
Like Geeked probably like.
I think that's the one. That's
Geeked.
the one.
A lot of the beats, you know, I'll find them, or sometimes we'll revamp them in the studio, and then so but I was telling him like, you know, we were both just zooming, just really on track. Like if I'm doing bad on a track, we just scrap it and we just go to the next beat. You know what I'm saying? Until we catch it, because it doesn't take too long for me to catch it. I really take only 15 minutes to make a song. That's it. Wow. Boom, making these songs, keep going. I'm like, yo, keep going, because I know if I chill with him for 4 hours or 2 hours, we could just get a lot done. You know what I'm saying? And then if I come back, we could work on that. Boom. Oh, I ain't like that. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And now I got something done. Okay, back, boom, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Speak to that too, because I feel like a lot of times with me, the problem was with me and the calling card on me when I was a rapper was you're too slow and you write too slow. Having the ability to just come off the top and just be able to create music in your mind and then go, how has that benefited you in rap, you feel like, other than other people? How has that separated you?
Well, it separates me because it helps me just zoom through the tracks, but it also is ineffective sometimes, because if I'm not in a comfortable space, I won't catch it right away, and now I'm wasting time. Like that happened just a couple of nights ago, but I paid for like 4 hours, so it was straight. Like the first hour, I was trying to make a song with my artist, it just wasn't going good. But then the next hour, I was like, yo, listen, I'm gonna just tap into my bag and just focus up, yo, and then I just killed like 4 tracks, boom, 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 killing them. I'm like, all right, you could take the next hour, and then we just did it like that.
And on both of these albums, I'm sure you've made a surplus of music. For you, I feel like with every artist, their songs are their babies, right? You can't say no to just one. So how hard is it when you're in that room and that whiteboard and it's like, well, this one can't go, but I wanted it to go, but this one could go here. Like, how hard is it to pick those songs for those albums?
Well, at first, it was really hard when I was just trying to make one. But then when I thought about it, I'm like, no, I could just drop 2. And then have these sounds right here, and then these sounds right there. So, like, being versatile, I feel like it makes it easier for me. Like, so, like, everything is just way better. Like, I remember when I first started rapping, I was just rapping on G Herbo beats and trying to be the hardest rapper, too. But that shit gets old. And then you understand, like, well, what if we all just, like, hold on a second, see what's really, like, working. Like, Travis Scott's going crazy right now. Like, Playboi Carti's going crazy right now. Like, why is this sound working? And why, you know what I'm saying? It's because that sounds hard, and that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we could, you know what I'm saying? Like, even me, like, I love drill music. I love all that stuff. I love Herb. I love all them. You know what I'm saying? But I could only listen to it for so long before I'm like, all right, now I want to listen to something fresh. You know what I'm saying? With the production. You know what I'm saying? Because I do love raw talent, but then I also like to see what they could do. You know what I'm saying? What's new. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like how you gonna reverb it up?
Right. No, you're good. I feel like with YouTube, you know, I went to YouTube. I didn't see a lot of visuals yet, but I feel like your albums are kind of like within a story, kind of. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things around it. What is like something you would want to do with these albums? Like, I feel like a lot of today, like, they do different content and things like that. What content do you want to make surrounding these albums, or how to push them and things like that?
Right. Well, since like you said, I've been behind the scenes. I've been working on so many music videos and stuff.
Right.
I've already gotten like stuff that I want to do in my own, because I'm giving ideas out. Like, let's say, like, for example, my artist Kyle. Here we go. Here we go. And we over there in the sticks in the woods on like a Friday night, and I'm telling him, like, I'm like, yo, listen, your song's hard, but if we just go over here where there's more people, we're gonna revamp it up. So we end up going to the sticks anyway. He ends up not liking the music video. Spends $350 on the video. And says, Matt, you know what, you was right. I'm not gonna drop it though. I spent $350 on the lesson.
Man.
$350 on the lesson. That's not what. Alright, but hey, we ATM, so fuck it. Bounce back.
Right.
I said, alright, that's alright, man. Fuck it. You learned your lesson though, right? Yeah, I'm about to just shoot it myself. Alright, perfect. All new year. Right. You know what I'm saying? No hard feelings.
Right.
But these are the mistakes that you gotta learn early. Yeah. Or maybe just sitting back watching, okay, that bomb. So yeah. Right. Next time you gotta be prepared. But I'll show you the video. I was prepared. Right. My boy pulled up in pajamas. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, alright, well, this your video.
Right. Let me ask you this. How many of those mistakes have you made and learned from?
Oh man. So many. One time, right, I went all the way to, I don't know if you know Penthouse Studios.
Oh yeah.
In New York.
Yes sir.
So that's a really prestigious studio. And man, I went over there and I was just not confident, and I just wasn't like believing in myself yet. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about it, but I just didn't know like what the fuck to do. So like when they were like, oh, like rap, I was just choking up like it was Eminem and fucking 8 Mile. And this is at like Drake has been to the studio. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying, that like comes to New York will tap in with that studio because why? You know what I'm saying? But that's just like something that I made early. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't ready. That was to be now. You know what I'm saying? I'm 24 now, so sometimes you gotta wait your turn, and you gotta understand that you might not be that guy right now. Right. But if you wait, you could be past whatever you think. Like you just gotta, you know what I'm saying? You got it. You gotta just.
As an artist and a manager, you know, learning those things. What's the difference between you telling somebody about a mistake they made and how they fix it, and you telling yourself? Like, are those two different conversations that you have to have before it's like, well, I've seen you do this before, but you got to do this, and then with yourself, it's like, fuck, I know I'm not supposed to do that. You know what I mean? Do you think there's a difference in working with them in their mistakes and working with yourself? Like, do you believe you put yourself make yourself go harder, or do you just kind of?
I would like to say, like, when I see like good talent, that shit drives me. So like now, if I see somebody slacking as well, I try to do everything in my power to say, like, let's pick it up, let's get this shit moving, and then really just revamp their sound. Like a lot of people come to me and they say, well, how did you get your sound to how it is now? And I tell them, well, you got to work. You know what I'm saying? Every day I throw on a beat and I rap. Ask anybody around me. I'm rapping all the time. I was just in the trap yesterday and I was kind of like nervous. These niggas tripping. I don't know these niggas at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking if I say the wrong thing, they about to start wilding. Because every time I say something, like, somebody over here like, we gotta get out of here. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm just freestyling. But at the end, they all like, I'm like, what the fuck? It was like the weirdest thing, but it's shit like that, like weird shit like that, right? Yeah. Like you might not expect like a crackhead to fuck with your music.
That's what I'm saying.
But
there you go.
They fuck with your music. It's Hartford though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hartford.
Yeah, shout out to Hartford, man.
Yeah.
You know, being from Atlanta though and seeing the influence they had on this shit and trying to make that same influence in Hartford, what do you believe you have to do to make that same type of impact here that the Migos and all of them have made in Atlanta?
It's all sacrifices, man. Like the perfect thing I could say is that Atlanta does is they stick together and they bring unity. So that's what I'm trying to bring to CT. You know what I'm saying? From the A to the 8 is we trying to bring unity and bring everybody together. Like I'm trying to say, like, the hood could be the hood, that's fine, but we can also bring we could bring the birds in and get some money too. Because guess what? They all need stuff too.
Right.
So we just all together. Now musically, we're unstoppable. Cause look, people in the hood always need resources. Like I'm a nigga that really like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like when Josh said I could give you some studio time for the free ski.
Right.
Come on,
utilize it.
We out here. Let's go. I got a whole camp that's just been waiting for this. Let's get them all in. Go. Right. And now everybody putting out tracks and stuff. So, you know, it is a group effort, you know what I'm saying? And this is what I was just telling the bros yesterday. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't just be the lone wolf all the time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Wolves move in the pack. So you could be the wolf, like, all day long, but you probably gonna need your wolf pack soon. You know what I'm saying? Right. I always, like, carry around my brothers with me. Yeah. But like I said, you can't always bring your brothers. You still gotta be a lone wolf. You know what I'm saying? Because a wolf is still a wolf. Yeah.
And talk about that, too, as being the boss of this collective, right? And trying to move them around. Yeah. How much does it take you away from kind of sometimes spending time on your own music and your own creativity, because you also have to be worried about 5 other 6 people?
Yeah, well, every time that we do go to the studio, if we do go to the studio, it's not like I'm left out. You know what I'm saying? They're always going to either do a feature with them or, you know what I'm saying, I'm collaborating, or maybe I'm too tired, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Right. But for the most part, it's definitely never a day that I'm like, oh yeah, like we in the studio, but I'm not recording. Like, that just doesn't happen. I always try to make some music and stuff. Right. And you should come back to the music game too. Like, what was your sound like? If you don't
I was probably one of the. I'll say this honestly. I was a third for a long time behind Annoyed in terms of rapping. Like, I was just a real wordsmith. Like, that was my type of shit. Yeah. And when I came out, I was the biggest I was the fattest motherfucker in the game. Okay. And I used to just walk on stage and just tear shit up. He's shaking his head. That's my boy right there. He said it all. You know what I mean? Rap too? Hell yeah. Word. KJ right there. That's my boy right there.
So y'all more like lyricists and stuff like that.
He's the driller of the group.
Oh, the drill.
So he's the drill rapper. I'm the wordsmith. I'm the dude who was trying to reenact Joey Badass and all that. You know, I come out in my big ass windbreaker and shit like that. You know what I mean? And that was just the steez on how we got down. You know, I just feel like my art is a lost art though. I'm kind of like
and I always say, if you have a lane, you just gotta kill it.
Kill it.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't bash nothing, but you gotta kill it. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, it
just dies.
Yeah, I think like making timeless music, like, can you go back and listen to it and say that was good or bad? Like, and a lot of the songs I'm thinking now, I'm like, yeah, I'm making the timeless music. You know what I'm saying? So now we just working on like the marketing. We're doing on a media run. Actually, I found this podcast by just typing in like CT podcast or something. I was like,
shout out to all the people that support me for that.
Yeah.
I got a real step for you. I'm proud of that. You know what I mean? But
I'm gonna try to bring some artists up here too.
Listen, man,
bring I know you said you haven't done this in a long time, but you got the space for it for sure. We gotta keep it going. Yeah, this is.
And as you can tell, I do my homework too, man.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, I appreciated that.
No problem, man.
I definitely appreciated that, man.
You know, I think too. Talking to ATM MAX, a lot of it too with marketing. You know, obviously you coming from a small state. How much do you feel like you're utilizing social media, but how much do you feel like you want to utilize word of mouth? I feel like social media only takes you so far. So
I feel like man, because if you don't have your people backing you first, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But again, a stranger going give you $1 first, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Before your own boy do. So that's kind of crazy sometimes. And it be like that. But the stranger's gonna support you first. That's basically what I'm saying. Like, and that go with anything. So you can't be afraid to go and talk to people. Like, this is a talking sport for we are rappers and stuff. And everybody that think like not posting and, you know what I'm saying, you're not Playboy Cardi. You know what I'm saying? No. You gotta come out and do these media runs because it's important. You know what I'm saying? It's important. It's not just important for me, but it's giving something to the fans to think about and to watch. And it's also to give back to you too. Like, you get something to post too now. Everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody working, man. Everybody working. Everybody profiting.
Yeah.
I think that's the important part. I think that's the lost part of art, is that we forget to actually interpretize art, right? When you go to a museum and they got a painting on the wall, nobody just looking at it and staring at it like this, right? And pressing a button on their phone. It's like, okay, what was he thinking at this time? How was that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I think that's the lost gem in this shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also want to ask you, between both albums and how they were, you know, creating them, doing everything around them, are you in such a rush to do another album, or do you just want to push these songs as much as possible and see how much this takes you?
That's a great question. I was just thinking that just the other day. I was like, man, because as much as I have so much, like, you know what I'm saying, to say now, and just like, well, I could make another album now. I feel like yes and no. It's probably yes though. Like, I do want to make another album. And I really want to make a fan of a fan album. I was just saying that.
Okay.
I really do like a you know, Tyga and Chris Brown.
Right.
And just kind of do something like that, or like, you know, Chris Brown and Thug, and just, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of the features, like you could see, like it's not hard for me to like match sounds and kind of go off. So I really enjoy doing features. That's what
I miss that type of like clue tape vibe.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Where you're just in the studio. You know, like even going back to, I'm an old head, so. Yeah. I remember going back to like the Locks and like the Rough Riders and it's DMX, Dragon, Jada Kids, and we're throwing different feet hard shit.
Everything
you know what I mean?
Coming in, and it's gotta be trim. And it's got, you know what I'm saying, the 50 are crazy, you know what I'm saying? Everybody just talking about raw, authentic shit.
Right, yeah.
Nobody talking about a bunch of bullshit.
And just bringing it all into a gumbo pot. I think motherfuckers nowadays is too scared to get in the booth. And it's like I've seen it a lot of times where I'm in the booth with somebody and it's like they in there scrouch. It's like, bro, we all brothers in here.
Yeah.
We just trying to work. You know
That's
what I mean?
I'm saying. Like,
that's all it is.
You know what I'm saying? And learning that though, and being comfortable and to walk in the rooms and just know who you are is a talent in itself. Because a lot of people don't understand what they want to do with the music. They just know, I want to be done. Well, like, you know what I'm saying? Well, what is you doing it for? And how do you really want to sound? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your talent for real? Do you even got talent for real? Do you even do this for real? Do you rap? Do you trap? Do you, like...
What do you do?
You fight? What do you do? Like,
that's the identifying problem in this generation.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where did you come from? Like, you just rapping? Like, all right, well, we're going to hear you out, and if you got some talent, then I guess it could work. But, I mean... With Tekashi 6ix9ine and all that, like, anything's fucking possible.
But anything is possible in
that
this
shit. Is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But let me ask you this: in terms of ATM music and things like that, what do you want to do to brand that brand? Like, how do you want to brand that, and what do you want to do with them? Like, how do you want to roll them out? Like a Concrete Boy, something like that, or you want to kind of just pull back, do one artist at a time, or
it'll be something like a QC label.
QC, okay.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think about something.
I'm trying to think, like Cactus Jack.
I got you.
That. Okay. Yeah, because a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? And it's not that we have, like we biting each other's flows and stuff.
Right.
Everybody just sounds hard and nice. So it's just, it sounds good. You know what I'm saying?
From the time of day, yes,
ATM, everybody rocking ATM.
Yeah.
Everybody. Shouts to the game.
And you gotta go pick up his new single, Outside. That was also a single that I listened to where I was like, he's kind of coming into his own strongly within rap. The two albums to me sounded like you were in a different place, but it sounds like that single was kind of leading off to something much bigger. Why was that that single just sounded like you were going hard in the studio, you were having a good time?
That one came, it was supposed to go on the album. I forgot. It was supposed to go on Drugs and Heartbreaks. But I loved it so much that I just said, we're going to drop it as a single. Right. So we dropped it as a single. And I that's like my go-to when I go in the car. Just, outside. It's hard. Turn up, you know what I'm saying? I like to bring the vibes. Like, as you can tell, like, maybe not right now, but most of the time, like, I'm just mad upbeat, like, mad, just like crazy. Just everything is just, let's go. We up, we chilling. We outside, so that was the vibe for that, and just a lot of energy and stuff like that. And then I think like always having just like somebody on your side that's gonna keep it real, like somebody close to you that like, all right, well this is what's sounding good, but hey bro, like I don't really like this one, keep it above. Yeah. But then knowing yourself, like, well, just because he said that might be alright. That might be alright. That might not be the right thing, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ask 10 other people and see what they saying. Yes, okay, alright. But you know what I'm saying? Because I used to listen to that and get molded up all the time, and just I wasn't finding my sound.
Well, I feel like it makes you kind of flimsy too. Like you don't know whether to drop it, you don't know whether to go a different way. You know, and that's what happened to me. Like I said, I was rapping on boom bap beats for a while, and they start throwing you trap shit. Like, yo, get in the trap line. This ain't it. This ain't it. Like, I like it, but this ain't it right here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You trying to turn me into something I am not. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
facts. Yeah.
Give me my soul sample. I'm cool.
Right. And you know what? And everybody has their lane. Like you know what I'm saying? And that's beautiful though. That you could just see. That's we're not doing all that.
No, we're not
but
doing
we
this.
can talk some real shit though on this one right here.
Right.
Oh yeah. Like nah. Yeah.
I told mine.
But then you got my boy right here that's gonna hop on the drill shit and kill that shit for you.
Go crazy. You know what I'm saying?
And now if you got somebody like me that's on the rage beats, now we got all three. Boom.
Right.
Now you know what I'm saying? Killing it all departments, everybody fat, and then keeping it all in house. Yeah. I think
what's something you want to do outside of music that you haven't done yet? You know?
Outside of music?
Yeah. Because music's gonna bring in the money. What's something you want?
I want to do more like movies. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Stuff like that. Yeah, definitely want to do like you know I even wanted to do my own podcast for start something like that and just or just giving knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We starting now. We got on the TikToks and crazy and stuff like that.
Wow.
These new kids going crazy with that. So I said, hold on, we got to get on board and see what they're doing.
They turning up over there.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. They turning up over there.
Yeah.
You know, I like to ask this question. You know, I'll probably end the interview here, but I like to ask this question. You know, you're ATM MAX, but you're somebody else at home. What's something that you would like to work on and do better in your home life other than doing the artist life?
Probably just stop mixing the two. Like I'm be so turned up all the time.
Right.
I don't really have time to come down and be Max sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I do, Max a demon, so he crazy. Now I'm over here. I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? I was just on the bracelet. I'm off the bracelet now. Thank God. We're not trying to go back to that. You know what I'm saying? And of course and all that, man. Fuck them.
That's a man.
Honestly, fuck.
All my family been in and out of there my whole life, and that shit just, man, y'all come out and they don't set you up with nothing good. That shit is just, man. I don't fuck with the D's, man. I can't do that shit. Hell no.
My stomach hurt. Oh man.
I'm a white boy. I be swerving like I got a case. This shit. Fuck, we out of here. Fuck that.
You know what I'm saying? They go they don't care. They don't think you Mexican.
Shit, bro. Oh my God, bro. This shit. I don't know, man. It's just free all the guys, man. For real.
My boy just came home
Hell
too. Just getting that shit right. Always touching money. But yeah, thank you for having me.
No, man. No problem, man. Listen, Stand Out Podcast, Madhouse TV, 805 Hartford Road. Get your podcast, your braids, and your haircut. It's where the culture and the haircuts collide all in one. Listen, bro, I'm on ATM MAX, man. Bring whoever the hell you want back. It's an open door policy.
Y'all gonna see my artists come up here, man.
It's an
open door policy. They gonna tell you about how I do as a manager, man.
Hell yeah.
And if they say the wrong thing, they getting cut from the label. Immediately.
Listen, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming. Stand Out Podcast, ATM MAX, man. Like I said, it's all family around here. Whenever you want to come back,
when I drop the next album, like you talking about, because you know I got one up my sleeve. I'll definitely.
And we'll pull up. Me and him, we'll pull up to the studio on y'all too, and just be in there with y'all vibing.
Yeah, we need a special guest. You know what I'm saying? Little podcast interview. I got you, man.
Hell yeah, man. Listen, man. ATM MAX
spot, man. Everybody pull up, man.
Hell yeah,
cool
bro.
Vibes. You know what I'm saying?
All the time, bro, all the time.
What's that right there? Oh,
that's a beauty bar right over there. So, you know,
you
want braids? No. That's they actually do like makeup and shit in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I just see a bunch of flowers and stuff like that. It look like they got a wall.
It looked like an interrogation room for a minute over there. I ain't gonna lie, I was empty as fuck. Somebody on the other side of that bitch. You know what I mean?
I know.
All right, man. ATM MAX, Stand Out Podcast. We appreciate it, man. Thank you, guys.